We are back to answer a critical question. Is Caleb Downs going to be a dog? We'll talk about what that secondary is going to look like. The Hoops team is freaking rolling, but let's get it started here, Israel. Good evening. Happy Thursday night. We are live. It's the Believe in Georgia Dogs podcast on the Believe Podcast Network. Joining me from South Georgia, not in the snow, just my man Israel Troop. What's up, dude?
What's up, brother?
Oh, just living in this, just living that snow life, man. I know you're jealous. Uh-oh. I think I lost you. And I lost him. Okay, so we're having a little technical issues down there with on Israel's end, but he'll be back very, very shortly. But like I said, we are the Believe in Georgia Dogs podcast on the Believe Network. We are presented by Betonline.ag, your number one source for all of your sports wagering needs. If you want to bet it, Betonline.ag has it. Whether you want to bet on NFL playoffs, NBA, college basketball, whatever it is, BetOnline.ag has it. They also have a casino as well. So if you like blackjack, craps, or whatever slots games you want to play, they have that too as well in the casino. So make sure you go to the website BetOnline.ag now to join. Enter the promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV to get a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline.ag is where the game starts. Well, I was hoping Israel was going to join me tonight, and looked like he had. And well, let's just say that he had some technical issues. He'll be back here in just a minute, but hey, there he is. If you are in the chat, make sure you join us in the chat. Make sure you follow along in the chat. Here's my man Israel, and he is back and better than ever, dude. I'm loving the hat, man.
Oh, thanks, man. Shout out to Striplings, where you can find all your meats and your hats.
There you go. Free shout out. So, what's going on in the world of Israel Troop?
Oh, man, nothing. Got new baby girl here. So, my computer died all of a sudden.
Oh, no.
So, where there's a will, there's a way. You know what I mean? So, broadcasting live from the cellular device at the moment.
There
Till we get rebooted over here.
He's a man of many devices. I love it, dude. The world missed your head bob when I did the Believe.
I was with you, and then all of a sudden you disappeared. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I threw a question to you, and you were like, I was like, oh God, he's frozen.
That awkward call.
And I was like, oh no, and he's gone. And so it's all good, man. But so Caleb Downs, what's what are we hearing on Caleb Downs?
Man, I'm hearing a lot. You know what I mean? I think it's awesome, that I think he should have came to the Dogs beforehand, but hey, everybody's got to figure out their own path. But getting T-Rob, is very huge. I text you and I tweeted that's huge. With Nick Saban retiring, and I think it's a really cool deal. So let's just talk about how unselfish this coaching staff is first of all, because Coach Muschamp, he could have stayed on, being co-DC and things like that. But at the same time, he wants to see his kids play, and what better opportunity for T-Rob, Coach Muschamp, and for that whole defensive side, for Coach Muschamp to say, hey, I'm going to do this for the betterment of the team. That's kind of the culture that Kirby Smart's built, and for him to come in and, have the impact he's already had, is very huge, especially from a secondary standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's not act like Will Muschamp's not going to be involved heavily in the game planning. I mean, he's the defensive analyst, and he's going to be the guy that's kind of putting all the hard pieces together. You're leaving our two new additions at the defensive backs coaches. They're doing a lot of the recruiting on the road, they're putting in the grind, they're doing the practice and the drills and stuff. Will Muschamp is preparing the scout team. He is drawing up the cards. He's probably the mastermind behind a lot of the game plans, and then the
Yes.
other guys are just kind of trickling in. So it's going to be him and Shu. He's going to help Shu from off the field, and those other guys are just going to go do their thing, man. It's really unique how this staff is built up, and it's going to free Will Muschamp up to be able to go see Witt when he wants to at Vanderbilt and things like that. So I'm excited about it.
You froze again.
Did I freeze?
Yeah, you froze that time.
Oh, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. I got you.
I
Oh,
divided-
we got Israel Troop joining the stage. Here we go. Let's add our third amigo, Israel Troop.
There we go. Let's see if it works now.
And then you're just a blank screen. You gotta love the live stream here. So
Yeah, man.
while we still have your voice, while we're waiting on your picture, yeah. So a lot of unselfishness in the staff. We're both coaches, so like, what would that look like on your end? Like if your head coach came to you and said, "Hey, man, like, we need to do some staff organizations, and we're rolling along here." So how would you handle that?
I think it's awesome. I think it's he has confidence in Coach Muschamp first of all to even come to him with that. And I just think it's a testament to those guys just understanding what we're doing, and the goal that we have at hand. So it's one of those deals to where, hey, what's more important? You know what I mean? Is it the X's and O's, or is it more about family? I think this decision that Coach Muschamp's making is more about family.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. And Kirby, just hats off to him, man. He knows him, like you said, he knows him well enough to be able to go to him with this proposition to begin with. And so you have a chance to get a really talented recruiter and defensive backs coach on your staff. You have to take advantage of that.
Oh, for sure. It's as soon as it came out, you can see the excitement. Not just from an organizational standpoint, but just from a player standpoint as well. So you can tell the excitement that T. Rob brings. I got to talk to him. He was at South Carolina. And he brings that energy. He brings that excitement to that side of the ball. And he brings a pedigree of coaching. That is very, very important, especially in this time with the transfer portal and things like that, to where players can relate to. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited about it.
So does that mean we're getting Caleb Downs?
I hope so. I know he's a heavy hitter right now. He's the number one, transfer portal guy right now. He's a freshman All-American. So, everybody's going to be chopping at the bit to get him.
Yeah, I think our main competition is Ohio State, which the last time a big time Georgia player hit the portal and Ohio State was in on him. He jumped on board. That was Justin Fields. But can you imagine Malachi Starks and Caleb Downs patrolling that defensive backfield? Like, you would just stay in too high coverage and say, "I dare you."
Absolutely. I mean, that back end is absolutely phenomenal. Both can cover, both can tackle. So you just add an athlete to the back end. We're losing Bullard, who was our quarterback of that back end, and now you just replace him with another, dynamic player. It's really hard to be a freshman All-American, in the SEC. And, this young man did it with flying colors. I mean, it's in his pedigree. So, it's going to be fun to watch if he's able to come on and be a Bulldog.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm super excited for it. I'm super pumped for it. I think it can very well happen. So it's been a minute, I think, with between our shows since we did recruiting stuff, and just what do you think of our class? Like, who's going to be the big contributors? Like, what are we thinking? Who are you most excited about?
To be honest, I hadn't really looked at the recruiting class yet. I've heard a lot about, make sure I get his name right, Pugliski, quarterback. I've heard a lot of great things about him. He came in early, for bowl preparation. So, a lot of players were high on him. But, I'm really excited about the guys that we got coming back. Stackhouse is coming back. Warren Brinson's coming back. Tate's coming back. So, those are three big names up front that we got coming back. So, along with, a couple of freshmen that are coming in that we sprinkled in as well. So, we're losing some key players, but we're also gaining a lot of athleticism, and a lot of key players in this recruiting class as well.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And I mean, there's like you could just go down the list and say, okay, this guy's gonna be exciting, this guy's gonna be exciting, this guy's gonna be exciting, and yeah, I'm excited about the two transfer. I'm gonna include transfer portal guys in here too. I'm excited about the two transfer portal receivers, Colby White and London Humphreys. Man, I'm excited about those two.
Yeah, you're losing Brock, you're losing Ladd. So, that's two, although Brock will be considered a tight end, he was still a receiver at the end of the day. So you're losing two big guys, and you still got Rah Rah. Forgot we're losing Roseby Jackson as well. So you're replacing those guys with two, seasoned veterans, that have played, big time ball, who've made big time catches. So that just adds to the arsenal. For our receiving core. I think BMAC's doing a very, very good job of developing these guys. And I'm looking forward to, you still got Rara Thomas, Dominic Lovett, is still there too, so those guys will be playing a bigger role this year as well. And I mean, you just got dudes, on the outside, with Lucky, Dell, now we just got to find, that guy that's going to tote that rock, so I'm really looking forward to seeing, what Dell McGee has, up his sleeve of, who's going to be RB1, RB2. Hey, if you can tote it, you're going to be playing.
Yeah, no kidding. And one guy that's going to be toting is Trevor Etienne. I mean,
Forgot about Etienne's coming.
Yeah, I'm very much excited about Etienne, and honestly, out of the freshman group, this Chauncey Bowens from North Palm Beach, I'm really excited about him. He's 6'2", 215, just an absolute hammer. I'm excited about him coming in and see what he can do. Nate Frazier from California is kind of more of your slasher type, and you can't go wrong there either.
Absolutely. We're missing that 1-2 punch of speed and power. That's one thing we had with Chubb and Sona Michelle and, Gurley and Keith Marshall and those guys when they came in, even going back to TB and No Sean, just two guys that were there when I was there. So, we're missing that breakaway speed guy. I don't think we had that guy since Swift left, so I'm looking forward to seeing that more than anything.
Yeah.
Can we, break those, 40, 50-yard runs and, score a touchdown, things like that, create big plays other than, just get first downs, although that is great, but it's also good to have a guy that can take it to the house at any point as well.
Well, you as an offensive coordinator know that, like, the more explosive plays you can have in a drive, the better your drive's going to go. I mean, that's kind of like a Madden, like Captain Obvious, but like I've always said 6 or 7 plays is the cap. You need to score within 6 or 7 plays, or the probability of a mistake goes way up from play 8 on. So like in a 12-play drive, if defenses are forcing you to go 12 plays, there's better chances of them being able to get stops, turnovers, things like that.
Yes, absolutely. Because I mean, think about it. Within those 12-play drives, you're going to have a third and long. One thing that Georgia did this year, we can always talk about the SC championship game all we want to, but one thing that was consistent other than that game was the fact that we never were really in third and long situations very much. Third and one, between third and 1 to 5, is right about our comfort zone. So that way, the defense has prepared, are we going to throw it or are we going to run it? You know what I mean? And, this thing called analytics that they have now, the probability of going for it on fourth down and 4th and 1 and 4th and 2 are highly likely than 4th and 3 and 4. You know what I mean? So it gives your offense a better chance to convert.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, it can't be understated just to be able to have those big plays and you got weapons that are gonna. I think with the receivers that are coming back, this is probably one of the more talented groups that we've had in quite some time, just from 1 through 5 the possibilities that we can put out there. And if we can make teams defend vertically and horizontally, there's going to be lanes open for the backs. There's going to be things in quick game RPO stuff that's going to be open. And with the offensive line that we got coming back, there's no reason that Carson Beck can't sit back there and dice people up again, like he got so accustomed to a season ago. And I'm
Absolutely.
like this offense. Like I think it's going to be the way it's kind of shaping out is you're going to see a lot of explosiveness, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be even more explosive than it was a year ago. Like a year ago, like this past season, it felt like it took the offense so long to kind of get cranked up. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't just get the ball, 4 plays, roar down the field, and here we go, and use that momentum. Like the year before the national championship year, when the offense was rolling with Stetson Bennett, it seemed like it was, you get the ball, you may go 3 plays, you're going from anywhere from 3 to 7 play drives and scoring every time you touch the ball, and you just start avalanching teams, right? I think this iteration of Georgia's offense, the 2024 edition of Georgia's offense, has the capability of being able to do that to teams, and that helps. Like I can't state enough how much that helps the defense.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one, you're putting up points, and secondly, here's the thing that people don't understand. When Stetson Bennett, first took over the job, he was 2 years into the system. So the first championship, awesome. The second championship, I mean, he was already there. You know what I mean? He was comfortable in the system. Now, Carson Beck's comfortable in the system, with Coach Bobo calling plays and things like that. So that makes it a lot more fun. You're able to do a little bit more, maybe put a little bit more on his plate. Each game, Carson got better and better and better. You know what I mean? So this year, we're looking for big things from him, to the point to where we're not going into games with training wheels on. We're riding that bike, game one. Looking at our schedule, we don't have time to kind of, ooze our way into games and things like that. We got to be explosive from the jump, so it's going to be fun to watch from the simple fact of this group has been in there for 2 years. Bobo going into year 2, calling the offense. Carson Beck going into year 2, being the signal caller. We got a couple of things to fix up front, obviously, but all those guys have played. You know what I mean? You're going to be missing, Van Pran, which, it's always hard to replace a center.
Yeah,
but,
he literally got everything going.
Yes. And, it's just one of those deals to where, I know Coach Searles will, get those guys ready to play. You know what I mean? So this Bulldog team is shaping up to be something special. You sprinkle in Caleb Downs on defense, our secondary just got that much better. We just got better from a coaching standpoint. So now you get better from a player standpoint as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all it's all coming together. Unfortunately, the three-peat's going to have to take I guess take a redshirt year. But,
it's gonna take a minute.
Yeah, it's going to take a minute. Did we talk about Michael Jackson? Not Billie Jean, Michael Jackson, but USC transfer Michael Jackson.
Mm. Oh yeah, I forgot about him as well.
Yeah, I think he committed. He committed after the last time we did a show. I know it's been a while because you've been kind of
about that.
Yeah, you've been kind of in baby land and coaching interview land. I've been trying to pick up the pieces on. I'm a coaching free agent now, so we'll see kind of what happens. But he's somebody that kind of flew in under the radar a little bit.
Absolutely. I completely forgot about him. You know what I mean? So that just adds to the plethora of guys, that we have on offense right now. So, there's no excuse to be, worried at all about this offense, because, how some Georgia fans are, we come out a little shaky here and there. Everybody wants to talk. But I think this year, one, they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. I think, winning back to back, there's a little bit of entitlement there that seeped in just a little bit. You know what I mean? Especially at the beginning of the season. And I think they got a bad taste in their mouth, from getting beat in Alabama because, we were definitely one of the 4 best teams, in the nation last year. We should have been in, but at the same time, you got to win. If you win, you're in. It's real simple. So just one of those deals where I think this group's going to be hungry. If the APD stays off our back, stay out of trouble, we're going to be really, really good, because, it's about that time. Everybody starts getting on campus and stuff, so you know how that goes. But
we just need to put
looking forward
on everybody's vehicle. That's what needs to happen. Just
Look,
put
man,
the.
you give a kid a Hellcat, they're gonna want to see how fast it goes.
I
It's
know,
just
right?
one of those deals.
What's this gas pedal do? Ooh, here
Yeah.
they go. Just give them all scooters and just make sure they don't emerge from an alley. That'd be good. Yeah.
Shoot, it's too cold to be riding a scooter up there right now.
Yeah, I know. It's too cold to be driving around Nashville too, man. We got a blanket of snow, man. It's I told you, man. You could have came over, brought the kids, and built snowmen.
Look, I
Gone
want
sledding
no
because
part of that.
my street is a giant hill. Like I live in the middle of this giant hill, and so like the entire neighborhood comes to my street every time it snows, and you just see sleds just shoo, 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 zooming down the road. Is that why you're living that South Georgia life?
Absolutely. Today I think it got up to like 60 today.
Jesus.
So tomorrow, this weekend is gonna be rather nippy this weekend. So, to all my baseball players out there, I'm sorry you guys got to be out there, but I can honestly say I do not miss those days about this time of the year.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what the South Georgia definition of a little bit nippy is.
It is currently, let me get my handy dandy weather app out right here. Yeah. It is currently 45 here at the moment in Valdosta, Georgia. All right, tomorrow that will low of 37 and a high of 62. Saturday, a low of 27, 45 is the high. And Sunday, a low of 22, a high of 46. Now, that is cold down here in South Georgia.
Okay. All right. I'm about to give you another dose of jealousy here. I'm making you so jealous. I know. Okay. I'm sorry. It's tough, right? Tomorrow we have a high of 33, which is good. A low of 12. Low of 12.
No deal.
All right. It gets better. All right. Saturday, it's going to be sunny at least. Okay. You ready for this? Sunny. It's going to be 20, high of 20. Low of 7.
Yeah, no, dog.
Hold on. Sunday, high of 30, low of 5. 5. Monday gets back up to 45 and 24, and then 50 and 35, and then 58, 47, 57, 46. So it's gonna get back to maintaining in the mid to lower 50s for the rest of the winter.
Y'all got lottery number temperatures over there in Tennessee. I'm good.
Our climate is drunk. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our climate is drunk. Like it was
so cold in Kansas City. All right, that Patrick Mahomes' helmet shattered. That's how cold it was.
It's not a good look for Vices. Is that so? You aspire to so what? So listen. What if you'd have gone to the league, right? You get drafted by the Green Bay Packers. You got to play in Lambeau, or the Bears, or the Steelers, or any of those northern teams that don't have domes.
Yeah, the Bills this weekend. Oh my god, that was rough.
That was awful. That was awful.
And, I can deal with it being cold, but like the wind was like 30 miles an hour. In Kansas City that night. It got all the way up to like 50. That's when it's miserable. You just
before they could get it to from hand to mouth.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a video. Guy took a water bottle out the cooler, and it froze as soon as he took it out.
I think that's kind of cold.
Yeah. Andy Reid's mustache had icicles forming on it. I want no part of that at all.
So you're not going to get that in South Georgia.
No, not even close.
Yeah. Even like state championship time when you're playing up in Atlanta, are they back in the bins now?
No, we back in the bins, baby. We back in the bins.
Okay, good. That's where it belongs anyway.
And when we played in 2002, we played for, I think the high was like 50. It was a comfortable 50 though. Like it wasn't like cold or anything.
That was back in 2002. That's when y'all
22,
were
not 02, 22. Oh, not
22.
22.
Okay, so yeah, 22 y'all were playing in y'all played in the Georgia State.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
It was rainy
And
though,
then,
wasn't it?
yeah, it didn't rain on us though. It rained the day before.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember one year up here they play all the games at Tennessee Tech here. Um,
Mhm.
and just recently, like last year, they moved it to Chattanooga. So that was good. Better venue. Still not indoors, but better venue. They really should move it
Right.
like to Vanderbilt because Vanderbilt has the turf whenever they finish the
Mhm.
stadium, or MTSU, who also has turf. Um, but yeah, one year it was like the night game, the the Division two private school night game. The last year it was at Tech. It was raining and it was like 32 degrees, something like that.
No, thank you. See, that's when you got that sideways rain. Not the one
Sleet,
that comes straight down. It's like that slushy stuff.
little stinging rain,
Yeah. And how
Oh,
about the reporter? Talking to what Todd Bowles from Tampa Bay, talking about the conditions of Detroit when they go up. He was like, "We play in a dome, so I
yeah,
don't think we're going to have to worry about weather at all."
yeah, they play in a dome.
There's this thing called the
Great
what is
research.
called the Ford
Ford Field,
Center, whatever there, Ford
Ford
Field.
Field,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
but
that
it's
thing's kind
indoors.
of nice brick, indoor
It, loo- it,
facility.
it looks like
It's got
it doesn't look like a stadium from the outside.
it looks like a car factory.
Yeah, which I think that's kind of what they were going for, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
But his expression was absolutely pride. I mean, he held a straight face for a long time. I was like, he's about to lose it here in a minute. He
Yeah,
was
I
like,
didn't
I
think
don't
he
think
would
we have to
be
worry.
able to.
We're playing in the dome.
Yeah, playing
Bless
it.
her heart.
Yeah, I know, right? So pour one out for your Cowboys.
Yeah, man, it's hard out here in these streets, but I'm a loyal fan.
Are you ready to?
I tweeted the other day. I
Yeah,
said,
go
now
for it.
see, like how like some of those Georgia fans are, when we're struggling a little bit, and they're like throwing stuff and kicking refrigerators over. I understand. I completely understand why you guys are upset.
Yeah,
But that was
the
bad.
Cowboys will do
I
that to
think
you.
Jerry Jones. You can't tell me Jerry Jones didn't have something to do with that because our defense played absolutely awful. Then I watched the Bills play and they're playing man and everybody stays with their man. I'm like, hold up. Like Stephon Gilmore's out here getting toasted in man coverage. No, dog, something ain't right.
Yeah, and then they end up keeping Mike McCarthy. They end up saying
They did.
we're not gonna fire Mike McCarthy.
I don't put it all on Mike. You know, I
No,
think it's one of those deals where they just play like doo doo. They just play like complete dookie, and we'll figure it out.
Dak couldn't distribute. The run game sucked. But yeah. So ask me how the Falcons did in their first round game.
They didn't. Hey, heard y'all are getting Bill Belichick there.
Yeah, that's exciting. I think for
Can't wait to see him living in Atlanta.
that would yeah. Go up to Flowery Branch now and go on a visit.
There you go.
Now you got to because the goats.
Right. We might.
See,
I heard they were trying to get Kirby Smart too.
yeah, I've heard that. Do you think he'll go? I
Nah,
don't think they'll offer
nah,
it to him, but
I think he's having a lot of fun at home. He's back at home. Georgia's doing well. Of
mhm.
course, teams are going to come calling and things like that. But he's out recruiting hard right now. He got the helicopter, fueled up, ready to go.
Oh yeah,
I was talking to a buddy of mine. And he asked me like, "What's the biggest difference in Georgia now, like Georgia when I played?" I said, and the biggest thing is that we're spending money. We're spending money on new facilities. We're spending money on recruiting. We're spending money on nutrition, things like that. Things that when Nick Saban took over Alabama, he was already doing. Because he figured it out.
hmm
Because we all know how Alabama was until he took over. So once he started doing it, everybody else started figuring out. Hey, we got to spend some money.
yeah.
And not
You,
just
we got to
on
build our
new
staff.
jerseys and cleats and stuff. We got to one get a good staff in. We got a great facilities. got to feed these kids, because I mean, look how much bigger and stronger and faster these kids are today,
And not
so
just feed them, but feed them the right stuff and have somebody advising them and helping them make stuff and, you know, individual diet plans. Like it used to be, correct me if I'm wrong, but because I would see football players at the dining halls all the time, but like it used to kind of be a free for all, right?
mhm,
As far as eating.
absolutely. You just had to check in, but now I mean they got a whole kitchen at the Buttsmere now
Mhm.
in the facility. You can
Yeah.
go and make your own food. You can take it with you to go. You don't have to go to the dining hall if you don't want to. It's little things like that that just shows you the difference of since Kirby's taken over, how much the program has one bought into his vision of how he wants everything, and two bought what's needed in order to win football games.
Do you think Coach Richt was thinking about that or pounding the pavement for that, or do you think it was just kind of an afterthought and it wasn't really a thing until it was a thing?
I think it wasn't a thing till it was a thing. I think when Jeremy Pruitt came, kind of talked about our indoor facility. I mean, he was absolutely right. I think that kind of sparked the interest of, all right, what are we doing? But it really wasn't a thing just yet. And then when Alabama started rattling off all these wins, it's like, hold on, what are those guys doing? That we're not doing. When Kirby took over, he's like, hey, this is how it's got to be. Now every team is starting to evolve into that right now. And if you want to compete in this league, especially in the SEC, you got to do it because you got Texas and Oklahoma coming in now too, and they've been doing it in their respective regions. So, I mean, it's basically keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah, it is, and it's making sure that and with the transfer portal and NIL stuff, like you have to, when things come down to like if you're competing with Texas and Alabama and any SEC club that's in kind of the top tier, when you're competing with NIL dollars, like there's not much difference in money. Like Texas may offer more, but it may not be significantly more. The things that are deal breakers or deal makers are end up
In the
being
building.
the foundations of recruiting. Yeah, I mean it's still NIL goes only so far unless you're willing to offer a kid like Patrick Mahomes type money, like that you can't compete with that. But like if with what they're offering college kids, I don't think there's a ton of difference most of the time with the numbers. So it comes down to okay, do you get along with your position coach? Do you feel like do you have a good vibe? Do you like the facilities? Do you feel like you would be comfortable at this university? And if the answer is yes, then they're probably going to sign for at least a
Mm-hmm.
year. And if it's no, then they're probably going to go elsewhere. And it's always going to be, oh, well, they had a better NIL deal. But we all know that like part of the deal is not just the money, it's kind of what comes with the money.
Yes. And one thing that I've learned in sitting down and talking with him is Kirby Smart is a results guy. The standard is the standard. Like, this is how we conduct ourselves. This is how we're going to be. So that ahead of time. Before you sign with Georgia. So it's one of those deals to where it's like, if you come to Georgia, this is going to be expected of you. Can you produce? You can produce. You're going to play. If you can't, then you're not going to play. It's real simple. I
Mhm.
think we've had the most freshman play, for us on both sides of the ball that we've ever had, at the University of Georgia because one, these guys can ball. If this freshman can ball and I got a junior sitting over here, then I'm gonna play this freshman. Why? Because I got more time with this freshman. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's one of those deals to where you can make or break yourself. KJ Bolden coming in as well. I forgot about him. He's one kid I'm looking forward to because he bought it at Buford. He's another guy that controls the back end, can probably play corner as well.
Yeah.
So, it's just going to be, with this thing with the portal and things like that, are you willing to compete? And those who compete, they survive. Those who can't, they enter transfer portal.
They
Not
end up
saying the
on their
transfer
ninth
portal
year
is
of
bad,
eligibility.
but
But
you're just not what Georgia's looking for at this particular moment. Yeah, can you
yeah,
be coachable? Can you do things off the field? And I think, coming from, me and, my little snafus every once in a while when I was in school, can you handle things off the field? Can you beat the class? Can you make good grades and things like that? That all plays into, your playing time. If coach can't trust you off the field, he can't trust you on the field. I tell my
right.
players that too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just as important. I had a kid. He's like, "Yeah, I want to be recruited. What's your?" And I asked him. First question I asked him. I said, "This is what coaches are going to ask you, so I'm going to ask you this. What's your GPA?" He said, "Long pause, right? Long pause, which is never good." I said, "Does it start with a 1?" Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be tough
That's
out
gonna
there.
be a no.
It's going to be a no. You need to get
It's
that
gonna be a
thing at
no.
least above a 2 to have any opportunity for anywhere, because nobody wants somebody that, like, I had a kid that was like mad because he wasn't getting any offers. I looked at his GPA, 1.3.
Yeah, no,
1.3.
dog.
1 point. I'm not going to tell you his name, but 1.3. You wouldn't know his name. You
That
wouldn't
ain't
know him
gonna
anyway,
get it.
but 1.3.
That
I
ain't gonna
want
get
to
it.
be
Especially
recruited.
now. I mean, the kid from Miami is going to a ninth year. Okay. When I was in school, right, you had 5. That included a redshirt year. You
Mhm.
know, 6. If you got a medical. That was it. But how do you get 9?
Yeah, that's
How do
impressive.
you
Like,
system get 9?
yeah, like, what's he doing? Is he on the Van Wilder plan or what?
That's what I'm saying. I wish I'd known about that plan.
My man Robert Reynolds joining us, DGD podcast, joining the show, man. Love
Absolutely.
it, man. Joining him from Facebook. So, but yeah, so a lot of exciting things on the horizon. G Day is going to be a lot of fun. Spring practice is going to be a lot of fun. I'll tell you what's fun right now, though. Finally, it's basketball.
Basketball.
My God, like, basketball team doesn't suck. That's the
Yeah,
first thing.
man.
They
We
went
took
from not
Sacramento
sucking.
tonight.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Now they're
saying.
actually good, though. Like, they skipped the whole,
Yes.
like, we suck, we don't really suck, now we're good. We just kind of jumped into, like, now we're good.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we're pretty sporty. We are pretty sporty. I think. I mean, you talked about it last year. Can we recruit? Number one. And are kids willing to buy into the new head coach's plan? Because it's time for Georgia basketball to reach that pinnacle of, all right, we're good. All right, now
yeah.
now let's just get better and better each year. I think
Yeah.
we reached good. Can we get better? We
Yeah.
still got the Kentuckys and stuff of the world to play, but seeing
Auburn's on a
those
whole nother
guys
level
ball
right
right now.
Mhm.
Seeing Stegman packed. Not just because we're playing Kentucky or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's one of those deals to where you can see it starting to manifest, and you can see, all right, we're about to have some fun with this Georgia Dogs basketball team.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, when Stegman's rocking, man, it's great. I was there my freshman year. Our basketball team was really good. Then they got in trouble, and they have been the same since. But Stegman
Mhm.
was rocking, man. Like, I remember, it used to be the thing to do to go to Stegman and watch the boys play, and then it all kind of crumbled because uh,
Mhm.
Jim Herrick is a dirtbag. But Silas Demary, man, he's a freshman. Talk about recruiting. He's been really, really good.
Look, man, when you can get freshmen coming in and playing and staying, and let's just be honest, Athens is a beautiful place to be. You know what I mean? So you can sell that to guys, and every sport's starting to do that now. I mean, it's sky's the limit right now at Georgia. I think Josh Brooks is doing a phenomenal job as our AD, of setting his standard of what he expects of every athletic program. They're and once again it goes back to spending money. They're spending money into each program. Stegman's got some new renovations as well, especially after the whole roof deal. Baseball's getting a new deal. Tennis is their facility is almost done. I know the locker room's done. That thing is sweet.
Yeah,
Um,
the
so
baseball stuff is
softball just
pretty
got their
cool.
deal.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's one of those deals to where once you get the right pieces, and somebody has a plan that comes in there. I mean, it's sky's the limit right now, and with football doing what they're doing, creating that revenue as well. Every sport, is now starting to understand. We can be the pinnacle of college sports at every single sport. Our track team's always done well,
Mhm.
so I'm looking forward to them competing for a national championship this year too. So I mean, springtime in Athens is going to be real fun as soon as it's not cold anymore.
Yeah, I know, right? I can't wait till it's not cold here, which is going to be next week. So, um, I love that this baseball team is. You said it. You said it right. The baseball team is just absolutely rolling there with Wes Johnson. I'm excited about that. There's a new excitement there. I think you're getting a guy coming from a program that was top notch
Hmm.
at LSU, and you're not just getting kind of a like I don't know what went wrong. We hired an MLB guy last year to be the pitching coach, and that was a disaster. A lot of disasters last year, but seems to kind of be what I'm reading from kind of fall ball training stuff. It's all positive, man. And that might just be you know media sunshine pumping a little bit, but nonetheless, excitement is always good. I'll always welcome
Hmm.
excitement, and we'll see kind of when the baseball team takes field for the first time in mid February. So that'll be fun too.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't seen much on the Lady Dogs that I'm used to seeing. Um, and like I said, I've been dealing with baby girl for the last couple of weeks too, so I hadn't really looked. But got to get in on my girls too. They've always been good. Um,
Yeah,
that program has been very, very stable. Ever since Joni was there and even before her. Um, so it's gonna be fun. It's Georgia's headed in the right direction every single sport. You know what I mean? So with basketball doing what they're doing in year two, um, looking forward to baseball having a good year, and then looking forward to seeing what they do in year two as well.
yeah, I'm excited about that, man. The girls, I guess, have just been doing their thing a little bit, just kind of flying under the radar. Nothing special, one way or the other. Um, but yeah, I think it's noteworthy that that they're not making headlines one way or the other, but the men's team are certainly making some headway. I mean, they won 10 in a row and then dropped a tough one at Tennessee, and then they've got back on the winning track against South Carolina. As Robert says, it was a
There you
phenomenal
go.
game, um, and you just love that, man, and Mike White, I was a little skeptical, especially after seeing what happened last year. But it was kind of like a rebuilding mode, and I was kind of under the impression that it's just tough to rebuild what our roster was. And I was like, okay, I'm hoping Mike White
Mhm.
is just not falling victim to our rosters in such shambles that he's just never really going to be able to climb out of the hole. Because last year we had zero inside presence at all. We
Mhm.
couldn't shoot threes, even though we were going to try to be a 3-point shooting team, and we just couldn't do it. We were taking bad shots. I always described it as this, Israel. It looked like five guys at the Y that just met and said, "Hey, I want to play. Like, will you join me so we can get next?" And
Yeah.
we need a fifth. Okay, hey, you want to join our team? We got next. Okay, come on. And it looked like just five guys out there. And you know how that goes when you play pickup basketball
Oh
with
yeah.
four other people that you don't know.
But like
Bad
us when we would go
passes.
to Red,
Yeah,
you
forcing
got
shots.
me and Tavares and Marlon Brown, Brandon Boyk, and all of us out there playing. That's pretty much what it looked like for a little while there.
Yeah, it was bad. And I was like, I don't know if he's ever going to recover from this. And it's not his fault, but it's just a tough situation. Well, he
Mhm.
recruited his way out of it. Now they're playing really good team basketball.
When you got a plan, he embraced it. He said, "Hey, year one was year one. Hey, we're gonna rebuild. And get to year two. Year two, you start to see the fruits of your labor. Now, year three is when you start making some noise. And
So
that's
we think
usually the plan. Year one is kind of like, all right, let's kind of see where we are. We're still gonna play our game. Year two is like, all right, we're better. All right, year three is like, oh hell, we finna show y'all, who we are now.
mhm. Are we thinking tournament year 3?
I'm thinking tournament. I'm thinking tournament this year. If we keep playing the way we're playing, win a couple that we're not supposed to here and there. I think
Make a run
I
in the
think it's
tournament?
very
Make a run in the SEC
very very
tournament?
good possibility that we make a run at it. I think it's very 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 possible we made the NIT for sure.
Mhm.
We keep playing the way that we're playing, but hey, you never know. You mess around and win a couple you're not supposed to. Somebody lose a couple that they're not supposed to. Hey, it is very
You
very
mess around,
possible that we can be in the
you
tournament.
fi you find yourself playing on Saturday in the SEC tournament. NCAA is a possibility at that point.
Absolutely.
The answer is no, not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Hearing that it's imminent, maybe
Yes.
imminent-ish.
I've heard that.
He's taken some visits. I thought he would last not long in the portal. I thought it was just going to be a mere formality, but I guess not. Ohio State's going to make their pitch. I don't know if he has any other visits planned, but I think it's going to come down ultimately to Georgia and Ohio State, and I think Georgia's going to win out. So I'm going to say yes, but he's not won officially yet.
Officially just yet. And I think his dad said, Downs family is a great family. So I think his dad said they're going to try to make a decision this weekend, go ahead and get out the way so he can get on campus, and get rocking. So wherever he ends up, he's a great young man. I hope he's a dog, but I wish him the best in everything he's done because the kid is an absolute, freak in everything that he does. I just hope it's on our back end whenever he makes that decision.
Yeah, no doubt. And God, it's going to be outstanding when he commits to Georgia. That secondary is going to be scary, dude. I can't say that enough, man. That secondary is going to be just frightening. Natty back on is what I'm saying.
That's it.
It's going to be Georgia beating Texas in the SEC championship because it's single table now. Well, no, we're not going to play. Well, unless Texas.
Well, you'll still play a championship. It'll be more like the Big 12. Big 12. Yeah. The top two teams will play for the championship, and then we'll be in the top 12 for the playoffs for sure. And then we may the chips fall as they may after that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I wish it was a 12-team playoff this year. We would have ran the table in that. Just saying.
For sure.
Just saying.
For sure.
Florida State would not have gotten the misfortune of playing us in the first round, though. I don't know who they would have squared up with, but wouldn't have been us. There's no honor among thieves. Yeah. College coaching is a mercenary position. Let's just call it what it is.
It is what it is at this point.
Mm-hmm. It is what it is. So, well, you know what else is? You've probably got to get to the little one.
It's about feeding time. She got about 10 minutes before she gets cranking up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let you kind of, I guess decompress a little bit before you have to go deal with that. I know you're probably not sleeping much, so it might be, get a little 10-minute power nap before you do that, right?
That's it, man. 10 minutes. That's all I got. And she's like, "Daddy, it's time. It's time."
Yeah. She likes stew. She just taps you on your shoulder. Daddy, it's time to eat.
That's my girl, man. Just like my oldest, she's right there by my side the whole time.
Yep. Daddy's girl. That's what it's going to be. So last thing, Israel, I'm going to let you take that before we go. Zayden Walker.
That's a new one. I gotta look him up. Like I said, I've been out the loop, man. I've been here, there, and everywhere. So, we got a really good group coming. No matter what. So,
to be honest, he's from Schley County. Where is Schley County? Ellaville, Georgia. Where is that? Is that
down near you? Isn't it? It's Schley. Yeah, it's Schley County. So make sure you get the pronunciation right. I don't want anybody to hate us.
Schley County. Okay. All right. I'm an Atlanta kid, so just don't hold that against me yet. All right.
I know that young man is a baller. I watched him, kind of through his career, especially when I was coaching at Monroe down in Albany. The kid is an absolute speed demon. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting to see, when our staff gets their hand on him. I'm interested to see like where he plays. He plays offense and defense, kind of see where he lands.
He's gonna be a linebacker, dude. Dude is a missile.
He's very dynamic in whatever he does. With the ball in his hand, or he's either knocking the hell out of somebody. So Wherever that young man plays, he's gonna ball no matter what. So
6'3",
it's one of
220.
those deals where will he stick with it? And I think he will. He comes from a really good program. So it's just one of those deals where can he, adapt? And, one thing about it, if he's a baller, he's going to play. We're looking for linebackers right now, to kind of step up and fill that role, kind of be a household name. So he's definitely going to get an opportunity.
Well, he's going to be next in line because dude is like I told you, he's a missile man. He comes with bad intentions. I hope he ends up I hope he ends up with a G on the side of his helmet because I don't want to play against him. He will most definitely play as a freshman. I can confidently say that. Just watching him play, the dude looks dude looks the part already, and he's not even graduating high school yet. He's a 25.
Just think when he hits the cafeteria, in the indoor, he starts eating and lifting.
Oh my God. Yeah, he's gonna grow into a linebacker at 6'3", 220. That's kind of scary to say, but he's gonna play at 240 with like 4% body fat and running a 4.5 and just destroying you. Limbs when he hits you, like limbs are gonna fly. Like he's gonna be. I don't know what you. Sly County, is that what it is? What do they feed him in Sly County? I mean, that guy's a monster.
Well, they got nothing but sports to play.
Is he tackling wild hogs? Is that where he's at? Can you hunt? Can you hunt wild hogs?
He might be. He might be, but that program's done really well. Not only just winning ball games and things like that, but developing football players and developing just really good young men to come out of there too as well. So they were kind of flying under the radar for a little bit, but last couple of years, man, I mean they've done really well. I think they won it maybe two years ago. I think 2 or 3 years ago. So that program is really on the up and up. So it goes back to coaching, man. Allowing coaches to coach. These young men, and they go on to do really, really special things. When they get to the next level.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. It's going to be exciting. So yeah, Zayden Walker, I think ends. I think you can root for him in college too. So, Sly County. What year did you graduate from Sly County? I got to practice my pronunciation. By the way. What year ends did you graduate? So post that in the chat. I'm class of 02, Fayette County High School, which if you're unfamiliar with Fayette County, it is South Metro Atlanta, 2015. Okay. Young buck. And Israel is 2000.
Old man. 2007.
2007. Yeah, I'm an old man. According to Mike Gundy, I'm a man. 40.
That's right. There you go.
So 2015. I was in year 12, 13. I was starting year 4 of coaching in 2015.
I was starting year 2 in 15. Or year 3.
Were you at Colquitt?
They all started running together. I was at Colquitt then. They all started running together after a while.
Yeah. I was just starting at Lebanon High School, which is because of my teaching situation, I went to a program that was 0-10 the year before I got there. It was not a great program. Not in good shape. You got to find a good teaching situation in high school. I was fortunate.
That's
when
what
I finally found, I know, right? And when I finally found a good teaching position, the football was a mess. But I had like one good year. I had one good year where we set records. Like my last year under my first head coach that I worked for at my current school. I know that was a lot to say. Because I worked for one head coach for 2 seasons and then another for 4, and then went to Ensworth. And now I'm a free agent because my head coach won state coach of the year and got fired or resigned, really. State coach of the year. State coach of the year.
Yeah.
Got selected. Got selected in the East-West All-Star game too to coach. 8-2.
be like that.
We were 8-2. Lost in the first round. We kind of cowboysed ourselves, but see what I did there.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Have a phenomenal season and lose in the first round.
Yep. Tough.
Well, at least you're not picking in the top 10.
There you go.
Picking 8. We're about to trade it for Justin Fields.
We shall see.
I think it's going to happen. Oh, no, we're going to trade it for Mac Jones because Bill Belichick wants to reunite with Mac Jones. You know, we're going to hire Bill O'Brien. We're going to bring the entire Patriot staff back, I think is what's going to happen.
May the odds be ever in you guys' favor.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we're going to bring back the entire staff without Tom Brady, which is the key piece to that whole thing. So
there it is.
There it is.
All right, brother.
Yeah, all right.
Feed the young.
All right, so that's going to do it for us. We are the Believe It Georgia Dogs podcast on the Believe Network, presented by Betonline.ag for Israel Troop. I'm Corey Burton. Find us on social media. Find us on YouTube. Find us anywhere you find your podcast. We'll see you back here next time. But until then, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.